what is it? Special 8th anniversary special reunion tour cruise thing.
See what happens when you don't have a format.
Yeah,
know,
this
right?
is messing Aaron all up.
Yeah, so this is the first time I think all of us, well, not all of us, but almost everybody of the Hollywood Outsider hosts has arrived together. Is that right?
Well, we had that wedding.
Came at the same time?
I mean, for recording.
Oh, okay.
John,
We're 45 seconds in.
easy killer.
What?
Pace yourself.
So let's
Think
do
about something
introductions
like your
first. Now we have some guests because we're recording this from the Ho Cruise, which is dozens of us got together and are wandering the ship aimlessly, and we're put together by Brian Williams.
Brian just clapped for himself.
I did.
Money.
So we'll go in order from recent to first. There we go.
Oh.
So introduce yourself. Quickly.
Hello. I'm Amanda Sink.
I forgot the whole pause for applause this time. I was about to talk.
What if nobody claps for you?
Right. It's probably... I'm John Davenport.
And Brian Williams.
This is Scott Clark.
And I'm Aaron Peterson.
No! Silence. Don't boost the ego.
You forgot to mention one thing, Aaron. We are on the Harmony of the Seas. Which,
Yeah, we are on the Harmony. Well, what is which? I don't know what you want me to say.
No, because it's the hose.
Yeah.
Oh, I just figured that out yesterday.
I'm pretty sure Brian said something when he first put this all together. It's the
Did he?
hose ship.
Yeah, but they're
But we can give Aaron the credit
I
for
don't
it.
know
though.
if he did that. Let's not just start
his
assigning.
is timestamped.
I'd
Right,
rather
right.
give Brian the credit.
Right.
That's
And I want to mention everybody who's here. So just scream your name really loud when we go around. We can start here and we'll work back. Start over here.
Tyler Seaver.
Jane Peterson.
Karen Peterson.
Aaron Peterson.
Stephanie Clark.
Greg Shermahorn.
Mandy Sarver.
Wyatt Sarver.
Tracy Heinrichs.
TV Troy.
Gordy Davenport.
Okay. And if you didn't hear all those names, they were the people that were in the room. So I want to mention a couple things.
Stop hitting the table.
Stop touching your paper.
Damn it! I feel like
Keep your hands to
Is
yourself.
this the first time you've podcasted,
The
Aaron?
paper is crinkly, Aaron.
Who are you?
this is your life.
Welcome to our world.
That's the first time there's no mouth noises because he's sitting far away from the microphone.
Right?
Yeah.
Watch your ums and likes, sir.
Shut up! So a couple fun facts I put together before we got in here, just so everybody knew. We have almost 2 million downloads total
Nice.
since we started.
Woo!
Between two hosts, remember we had that first podcast, Podbean or whatever?
Yeah.
They suck.
Yeah. It took like 15 minutes to upload an episode.
Yeah, that was fun.
If it worked.
If it worked. And then we've got 12 nominations in various podcast categories. 1 win for Best TV and Film Podcast from the Podcast Awards. We represented in South by Southwest, Comic-Con, C2E2, Wizard World, International Film Festivals, and a bunch of other things. So that's like the history of Hope. There you go. In a
The
nutshell.
hostery.
The hoster.
Aw.
You should just fucking do this, really. Because you slept better. I shouldn't have ran this morning. Okay, it's just a couple things. First, let's go around. I guess we'll just keep doing that. That makes more sense to me. Why did you join the Hope? Not necessarily like how you came into it, but what made you decide, I want to do this podcast thing, which can be exhausting for everybody involved. It's a lot of time and effort. Amanda, you start.
Boy, this sure feels like we did this on a Patreon episode once before.
Okay, well, this is that, so.
Well, I did some podcasting for the Hollywood Outsider when we had Justin still as a host, and that was my first episode podcasting, and then started doing some more episodes of Remake This Movie Right.
Oh, no.
Got
I said it
why.
wrong. That's not what I meant.
What do you mean?
Why
then?
you joined?
Well-
Why you thought I want to do
I was
this
going to
podcast?
say because I liked doing them.
Oh. all right.
Okay, well, good. Moving on.
No, really, that's about it. I enjoyed doing it. It was fun doing it. You guys are okay.
I love that
So
we're like 5 minutes in and you're already shutting her up. You're like, Amanda, you said enough.
No, I feel like I worded the question wrong. That's all. I get what
why
you're
don't you
saying.
give us your answer and then we can all figure
There
out
we
what you're
go.
supposed to mean.
Yeah.
I wanted I wanted to do a weekly thing where it would be less pretentious and you could be involved in film and be a fan of movies and TV without being that annoying voice in the radio. And I thought it would be fun to hang out with friends and do that every week. I guess we'll go this way.
Oh, so it's my turn.
Now it's your turn.
We'll put it in reverse.
Yeah,
Well,
please.
Aaron and I talked about it for like forever. I think we would like text each other and talk about movies and TV shows and stuff. I was like, you know what? We could just talk about this on a podcast. And I don't know. Podcasting in general for me gives me purpose behind my favorite hobbies. Like I just, I love movies. I love entertainment. I love video games. And now I kind of have a legitimate reason to do all the things that I love. I have like a purpose and direction instead of just sheer entertainment, and it makes me feel cool to be a part of something special. So that's why I started.
Yeah, basically, you asked me one day. I was like, yeah, I mean, I've been listening to a lot of podcasts with a lot of drive time with work and everything. And when you kind of approached me with it, I was like, yeah, talking about TV and movies. I'm all for it. Let's do it. So, yeah, that was about it. Pretty simple.
Well, for me, it was more of something to feed my other inspirations in life. So to having these conversations with Aaron and Scott were a great way for me to just fill up my brain with more other things that really help me through the rest of the week to get to the creative juices going, and I really enjoy that aspect of it, and that's why I do it.
Okay, now I can give you a better answer.
That's fair. It's my fault.
It is your fault. Thank you for taking responsibility.
Are you still wearing sunglasses?
Yes, I am.
And for every listener, Amanda's wearing sunglasses because she's too cool.
That's exactly what it is.
Beyonce.
Inside a conference room that has no windows.
Right.
They have a lot of lights
An
above us,
enclosed-
though.
It's almost
Did you
like an
drink too
enclosed
much or
tomb.
something?
No, I did have a lot of drinks
Then
yesterday,
why-
though.
I don't understand why you have sunglasses on.
Because I want them on. Why do you have to judge me?
I'm not judging, but everybody's
Why do
judging
I have to color your hair
He
because it's
judged you
straight?
first because I'm old.
Whoa! Shots fired!
Anyway, all right, what's your answer?
Anyway, so I listened to The Hollywood Outsider for many, many years. I loved the community. Particularly the community is really what did it in for me. So then you can be more of a part of that. Because in the Facebook group, if you're in the group, you get to interact with people who genuinely love movies. They love television. They love talking about it. Nobody in the Hollywood Outsider community is an asshole, so that's pretty nice. Or is it just this whole room that is? I don't know. But it was just fun. It was a way to talk about movies in a different way and not just build on what I had learned on movies too. So I wasn't just saying, "Oh yeah, I liked that movie." It was a way for me to develop myself more creatively and critically to say, "This is particularly why I liked this movie. This is why I didn't like this movie." But here are a lot of positives and negatives for a lot of different things, and communicate with friends about that and get movies that are more independent out there and in front of my television too.
All right, this is just for Brian and Scott.
Because they
Oh,
left.
Jesus.
Yeah. Well, I mean, the other
Quitters.
one, we know why. So,
Jesus Christ.
why did you decide when you finally left the Hoe? And we're not really mad. Why did you guys decide to leave the Hoe when you did? And what was the benefit? I guess. Why are you so joyous about it?
Why did you?
Wow, it sounds like Aaron's putting you on the spot.
Yeah. Wow.
Just say it's not me. Just say it's not me.
No. No,
It's
seriously.
you.
No,
It's you.
that's fair. No, seriously. What made you decide to? Because I know it's a hard decision. I mean, hell, I've thought about quitting myself.
Yeah, I just honestly, it was just a burnout. Every week after week after week, then special episodes. And what people don't realize is, while you may listen to an hour and a half of an episode, there's just multiple hours of prep time ahead of that lead into it, between format stuff, coming up with different bits, different whatevers, finding maybe an answer to a question that may not be just a top Google search on a internet search. So you want to find something a little bit different than everybody else. And
Not to mention just watching the movies and
yeah,
TV shows
exactly.
and writing the reviews and all that. It's
Right.
a
Who
lot
has
that
time
goes
to
into
watch
it.
stuff anymore?
So it's yeah. I mean, it was just with some other stuff, other things going on in the world. It was just kind of like this is that was it. But always willing to come back for
Game of Thrones.
Game of Thrones or some other special occasion.
It's pending that your internet works.
No, internet's fine now.
Now that you left.
Honestly, the last couple we've had problems, but it ain't been me.
No. Yeah, that's what people don't realize. Like, we had, for every episode Brian was on before, there was constant, like, reboot, reset,
Yep.
reboot. That's
Living
also
basically
part of it.
living out in the country with the bare minimum type of internet that was not very stable and stuff. So there was a whole lot of frustrations.
For me, it became overwhelming because, as you guys know, I went and started off with my own project, and I was trying to juggle both at
Hey,
the
what's
same
the name
time.
of that?
I wasn't gonna bring it up.
What's
You're
the-
wearing the T-shirt,
I
though.
am wearing the T-shirt.
You know, he's wearing the Gaming Outsider podcast T-shirt to the whole outsider.
Well, I'm not gonna wear a black T-shirt on Caribbean
I
cruise
understand.
vacation. Come on.
Well, maybe you should have got that one in green too.
I didn't know they came in
You
green.
can
You
pick
can
your
special-
color.
You can
Oh,
pick
really?
You can pick a color in these shirts.
Ah,
I made it that way.
Did you?
Yeah.
That was not. I was not privy to that information.
It wasn't in the brochure.
Right.
But I
Did you make a
juggled.
brochure?
No.
Get on that.
All you
So
do is
demanding.
Click the link. That's it. Oh, look, colors. Bright.
Is that what it sounded like when you click on them?
Yeah.
I mean,
He added the sound effects in himself.
He didn't give himself the green job.
Yeah, that would have been the kicker.
yeah.
Sorry, I didn't make it.
No, I juggled both for a while, but then I got into a program to get my master's degree, and that on top of everything, something had to give, and I was running the other one. I wasn't, just a host on it, and I couldn't really give that up, and I obviously couldn't give it the master's degree, so I stuck it out as long as I can. I remember actually, Brian, because I had been talking to Aaron and was like really close to being like, I may have to pull the plug and step away, and then you did, and I'm like, well, mother.
Yeah.
Great, I can't do it now.
I can't do it now. So I
He
stuck
stole
around.
your moment.
I know.
This is my moment.
Yeah.
Damn it!
So,
So then he just did the casual back away. It
Right.
was like that Homer Simpson.
Going
Drifting
into
into
the
the
bushes.
bushes.
Just drifting into the bushes.
but yeah, that it just became too much. I obviously enjoy still being part of the group, but it's nice not having the responsibility
Yeah.
like I did. And
We've done a lot of cool stuff by being able to focus on that too.
yeah, it's been nice. I actually just got back from LA covering E3, so that's our third year doing that, and boy, that's a lot of work.
Yeah. Whew, I can imagine. And
Yeah.
you're getting ready to start your own gaming.
Convention. Yeah, we're doing a convention out there in the Rockford area where we actually have 3 voice actors coming from LA. I'm talking to 2 game developers about bringing their game to show, and we're gonna have for lack of a better term, like a giant flea market where people just bring video games to sell. But we're talking about like people that actually do this for a living, like they collect stuff and then sell it to the public. So first time it's been done in Rockford. We're
Yeah, that's
excited.
That's,
about
awesome. That's
yeah.
pretty cool.
We're also doing a charity event next month. We're raising money for people with disabilities. We're doing like a 24-hour gaming marathon, and all the money is going to go towards buying these adaptive controllers for people with disabilities. We're going to try to find a family in the area to raise money for that, and people will be able to win prizes and come play games for 24 hours if they want to.
Including
That's
here.
cool.
Yeah, Chris from my show is bringing like
You
a
just
bunch
call
of,
it like Tuesday?
no, 24 hours is a long time, man. We've done the Black Friday
Yeah.
thing for like 16 hours, and that's
That was a lot of alcohol helped us get through that though,
yeah. I can't do alcohol. That'll make me fall asleep.
and also get your hair buzzed.
Yeah, one time that happened. I can pull off Dominic Toretto.
There's
Not
a
really.
photo somewhere.
Yeah. What was the bet last year? You wanted to like
Wax. I
my
wanted to
legs?
wax somebody's legs
That wasn't happening.
or chest. Chest would be preferable because I feel like it would hurt a little bit more.
That'd be a really awkward.
I've had my legs waxed before. It's not a big deal.
No?
No.
Okay, well then you gotta come Black Friday so I can have this.
Don't you
happen.
just like fly paper and just like
Pretty much.
Fly
I mean,
paper.
whatever you can get your
it's the
hands
same
on.
kind of thing, right?
I mean, Scott and I wax our nose hairs.
Yeah.
You wax your nose hairs?
Yeah.
That's when you're old.
Ow!
You can breathe better.
Right. Also, it helps because like as you get older, like the nose hairs just start coming out when you breathe.
Oh, I've
and,
seen
and
those.
it's like a party favor. It's like,
God.
and you think it's fun, but it's like everyone else around you is like, what is happening right now?
You've got tarantulas living in your
Right.
nose.
It's tarantulas living in there?
It's really nice though.
This
Once you do
deviated.
it, you never want to go back.
Yeah.
I did not see this going that
Yeah.
way.
Nose
You're
waxing.
welcome.
Yeah.
Who knew?
I've never waxed my nose, so I'm kind of curious now.
It's fun. Like the place I go, the guy he pulls on those things, he yanks it right out, and you think it's gonna hurt, but really it just like frees up some brain space.
Did you take an anatomy class?
Yes, I did actually.
I do it myself.
Did you pass?
I can show you how if you want to.
Sure.
I want to record this. I want to be witness to this.
We actually had like Thanksgiving one year. My wife's uncle had me do it for him. We got a video of me. Yeah.
That's just weird.
Our family's
It
weird.
was like Christmas or something?
It was Thanksgiving. He had it in the kitchen, just like.
Okay. Is the turkey ready? Nope. Sounds like fun.
That
Gotta
sounds
keep
like
ourselves
gross.
busy somehow.
This is what happens when you don't have a format.
This shit is what we have. I've got a basic format. It's just not like I normally do.
He just didn't share it with any of us.
Yeah.
No. Well, because then everything would be all scripted and prepared. And
Exactly how you like every other episode, you mean?
That and I'm on
Right.
vacation, so I derail everything whenever I get a chance.
Favorite hoe memory of any kind. Doesn't.
Oh, I thought you were going to say member. I was like, ooh, this is going to get interesting.
No.
I like that Scott Clark guy. He's great.
Yeah.
No. It doesn't have to be an episode you were on or anything else, or it just could be the experience, anything else. Favorite overall memories, like first thing popped in your head.
Like from an actual episode or just.
No, he just said not from.
Just explain it.
Let's back up. Let's rewind the tape. Any memory of any kind that has to do with the Hollywood outside, in
Okay.
any respect. It can be anything. Mandy, you can go first.
Oh,
John, you can go
yeah.
first. You'll be quicker.
The first time I saw somebody wearing one of the T-shirts at the time for the hoe.
Really?
Yeah, like when I think Paula Francine posted the first picture of her wearing the Deadpool shirt where Deadpool's doing the hearts.
You can't get anymore.
What's that?
So you can't buy anymore.
You can still buy it.
Oh, can you? I
Yeah.
thought I'd like.
Go to TeePublic or go to thehollywoodoutsider.com.
Yeah, we just keep putting it back up there with different hashtags on it. They've been around for a little while. But yeah, the first time I saw her wearing that in a picture, I thought that was a great moment for me.
Cool. No, for me it was being mistaken for part of the movie crew. My first
Yeah.
South by Southwest.
Tell the story, because unless you listen to Patreon, you wouldn't know the story.
Yeah. First trip to South by Southwest. I wasn't really sure on what to do. Thought I was a little special. Said, hey, I'm with this. I got my press pass. Where do I need to go? They sent me to talk to another guy who was outside one of the theaters. Talked to him. He said, it'll be a couple hours. I'll come get you when it's ready. I said, okay. So he comes by and he keeps asking me questions about the rest of the crew, like the directors, the actors, who's showing up, blah, blah, blah. I was completely honest. I had no idea when or if they would show up because I'm not a part of them. And so eventually he asked me how many seats would I like reserved. I told him about 10 or 12. So I had a whole row reserved for me. And he asked me to do a sound check, so I got to do the sound check for the movie, make sure everything was good. That was interesting. So being pretty good at BSing was a big help with that.
Walk in like you own the place.
Just walking like I own the place, that's right. So yeah, a few minutes later we're seating and the guy comes up and he says, hey, we've got a problem. And I just knew I was busted. So he says, the original girl who was going to do the introduction is got to do something else. We've got somebody else here to do it. And, so anyway, I had to verify the pronunciations and all this other stuff. And of course, I'm just like, absolutely, you got it spot on. It was a Croatian movie, and I don't speak Croatian. So,
Oh,
No,
yeah,
really.
I know.
You don't strike me
Not
very
that
Croatian.
one. Not that one anymore. So,
But it's not awesome with the southern accent, though.
right. I did get offered to do a Q&A after it. I figured I was pushing my luck far enough as it was, so I didn't really go with that. But the whole time this was going on, while I was in the waiting room, there was a couple of guys that I had informed on them what was going on, and every time Carlos, the nice guy who was unfortunately had no idea what was going on.
And is now probably going to lose his job.
Well, it was a volunteer thing,
Okay.
so it was probably a big loss. Every time Carlos would come out and ask me questions or something about it, these guys would just about lose themselves. Because he would, they knew what was going on, but Carlos didn't. So it was fun. Of course, I was texting you pictures and letting you know what was going on the whole time.
This is the most fantastic thing ever because it's 100% true. It's not even being exaggerated in any way.
No, and then for the rest of the trip, every time I'd see Carlos would held me. He would just let me just walk right into whatever he was ushering and everything else. So it was very VIP, way more than what I anticipated. But a lot of naivety and ignorance goes a long way.
That was a funny trip. That was a fun trip.
Yeah, that's right. And that was it. I was completely honest. I did not know the answers to the questions he was asking, because I wasn't privy to that information. So
You just had like every great experience the first time you went to that thing.
Yeah. It was. Yeah, that was.
It was like my fourth or fifth thing, and he had everything he wanted in like 15 minutes of going on. It was just, I already met backstage. I already met this. I already met that. Fuck you, man.
They're people here, and they're not this and that.
That's what to me. They were people. They were this and they were that. Scott, what about you?
I think for me, my favorite memory is some of the interviews that we've got to do. You set up an interview for me with the director for Video Games the
Oh, I
Movie,
remember that.
and that was like my first big moment, because even though you set it up, I kind of put the format together. I led the interview, and it was just I've showed it to people that aren't even like big into gaming, and they were like, "Wow, that was really interesting to listen to and to hear the passion." That and Tammy Stronach.
Oh, the Never-Ending Story.
Never-Ending Story, the Childlike Empress. I got to talk to her. That was like a childhood dream come true. Like I watched that movie 9,000 times.
I know. I remember that we got the email for that, and I called Scott because I wasn't a Never-Ending Story big fan. I mean, I like it fine, but that fuck dragon just freaks me out. And well, it's like I like children. Hey, it's creepy as hell.
Well,
It's creepy hearing you say it too.
Go watch that movie and put that in your head, and it looks like a pedophile dragon.
Yeah.
But he loves that movie.
I
and
adore
so
that movie.
I knew that, so I sent it to him. And
Well,
he jumped at
it was also really nice just to meet people that you see or have seen, and you just find out that they're legitimately nice people.
She was sweet.
She was such a sweet lady. I just loved it, because you kind of idolize people in movies and stuff, and when you meet them in person and they're just like genuinely cool people, that was awesome. That's probably my favorite memory.
Mine is probably the first time I showed up to South by Southwest, because that was like the first legitimate film festival. We'd been turned down the year before, I think, and it was kind of I think we've been to Comic-Con at that point. I can't remember, but Comic-Con's not the same thing as South by Southwest at all. I mean, it's great to be there as press, but it's a lot. South by Southwest is a legitimate film festival, and they take that very seriously. So the first time we went, and it was just me, so I didn't even have anybody to bounce. I didn't have the cool Brian stories. It was just me, and it was just an otherworldly experience, I guess, in many ways. So it was very surreal and something I'd always dreamed of. It's different to be there when you feel like, because I put a lot of work into this, I really do, and to be there because of the work you put into it is kind of how I felt about it. That's the most rewarding part. So that was probably my favorite part. Because that's the first thing that pops in my head.
Validation for all that work.
Yeah. So it's not just a bunch of people in the basement. So.
Yeah. I felt that way a little bit too when we went to Vegas for the podcast awards.
Oh, that was fun.
That was a fun trip, because even though we didn't win, but it was still cool seeing the podcast name up on the screen.
Yeah.
And we got to see a bunch of other podcasters that we knew, and then I got to just walk around Vegas and watch you gamble.
But poorly.
Yeah, because I was like afraid.
It's like just start, here, you take a 20, you take a 20. Scott's like, you sure you know how to do this? I got this, Scott, don't worry about it.
I just remember first time I'd been to Vegas, like with just guys, and I'm like, I want to wake up with a tiger in my bathroom, and Aaron's just like, let's just sit and drink and pull a thing on a slot machine for.
No, see, this is what you always tell people the story. This cheap bastard didn't want to pay the kid to go to where it was more fun. So he's like, I don't want to pay. We can go to Old Vegas where it's a lot more fun, and I don't want to pay the cab fare for that. Well, then we're going to stay here. I'll tell you.
Well, now you just take an Uber and you'd be happy with it.
Well, they didn't have Uber then.
Right.
There wasn't a thing.
No.
That just came out of nowhere. Uber is fast.
Right.
I prefer Lyft. I mean,
I do
if you want to get into it, Lyft.
This podcast brought to you by.
All right,
Amanda, do you
Beyonce.
have something to add?
Ooh, I got Beyonce. That's a big compliment right there.
Sunglasses.
I don't think I've
You
seen
don't
her
look
wear.
like Beyonce.
I don't. Look how pale I am.
Why is it be about how pale you are?
It's because it's alarming. how
It's
pale
really
I am.
about the fact that you still are wearing sunglasses inside, and they're not even shading. They're not even shading your eyes from the light. They're just right here in front of you.
They are.
No, they're not.
They reflect out.
And
No.
they're resting at the edge of your nose. Like,
No, they're not. I just have a smaller nose.
See, audience, this is what happens when all of us are with Amanda. We start just poking at her until she turns into Beyonce.
Yep, that's what happens. Well, I guess my favorite experience would be, there was a lot that happened at South by Southwest.
Is right now one of those experiences?
No. Sorry, Johnny. I'm just kidding.
how's that make you feel?
We haven't finished the whole trip. What if there's something bad that happens? This sink.
I don't know, but the room next door is applauding, so I kind of want to know what you're doing.
It's not for you, Aaron.
I know.
Yeah.
And he's upset about this.
I want to walk in the room just to see the.
But when I went to South by Southwest, one of the coordinators there sent an email and asked me, because they have a list of the film critics and they can separate it by gender and everything. So they had taken a handful of us and sent us an email and asked if we wanted to meet with Alicia Malone, who is amazing. She's a film critic and she's done stuff all over the world. She just covered the Academy Awards red carpet. But she was really inspiring. So to sit with her and have like a one-on-one conversation essentially whenever I wanted to, and there was probably only 7 people maybe, I can't remember what the number was, of other females in the room, but to be invited to that and sit down and talk with her and get to hug her and like just meet all of these amazing other women who are really far into the industry but are still looking for ways to get past the barriers and get advice from a woman who's kind of been through it and been judged quite a bit, especially on her appearance, and figuring out how she's navigated that way through the film industry was pretty incredible. So that was my favorite experience.
Did she tell you that you could be her wingman anytime?
I would.
Bye, Johnny. Don't fall.
The sunglasses thing's gonna play for you. You already made your sunglasses.
I know. I'm here. I get it.
Do you have pink eye or something?
No.
Okay. Just joking. I mean, you got nice eyes. You can show me.
I know you hate honorable mentions, but I'm going to give one.
Sure.
When John came to town and we actually did an episode, that was when it was just the 3 of us at that point, right? Wasn't it?
Yeah.
There was something really cool about that
was
episode.
fun.
I think the moment where we clinked glasses or whatever, it just made great radio.
Right.
Going back and listening to it, I was like, aw.
Yeah.
That makes
me
really
smile
cool.
every time.
Yeah, that was a good time.
You can tell by my voice distracting just then.
Yeah, were you
Yeah,
choking up a
smiles
little
don't
bit?
happen very often.
Yeah.
Are we still going back there?
Oh, yeah, we should probably check that. Oh, what's my pin?
That's a good question.
Hey, look at that, still recording. Good news. Okay, audience. Anybody in the audience have a favorite home memory they want to say? Stephanie, you might want to come up. I can't hear you. Although
I
you
can't believe Scott didn't say this.
could probably just yell.
Like any of the Christmas poems. How is that?
Oh yeah.
What? The Scott
Did
Clark
you
Christmas
hear
poems?
The Christmas
Christmas
poem.
Any of the
poems.
Christmas poems.
Yeah.
That's not one of your memories?
It was a lot of work to do those. That
Or
was
the Chewy episode. I mean, honestly,
Oh yes.
Chewy don't take.
so hard.
John Chewbacca Dick.
Who is that guy?
And pretty much all of the outtakes when Justin was still on the show, and Brian and Justin would just mess with Aaron, and
Yeah.
you'd put them in there in the outtakes. Like that was.
Let's get this shit to cracking.
Thanks, Steph.
Scott Calgaro showed up.
What up?
Halfway through.
The question is, any favorite Hollywood Outsider memories? Anybody?
Well, I mean, to this day, I still love Brian's trailer park. I
Yeah.
ask him to come back all the time. It's like just like
Yeah.
Brian recorded on the weekend and just mail it in or something.
Mail it in.
He does ask all the time.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or-
Maybe we'll do one.
He keeps saying like, well, just have him record it, just send it in, and then you can just add it to it. I'm like, what?
Or remember when for like 3 weeks you had Justin's coming. Attraction. I think that lasted about a month.
That should have never gone away.
That's back when we were a lot more explicit.
Yes, we were. We earned that explicit tag.
Did you know once you have it, you can't get rid of it?
I did not know that. So you were
Yeah.
explicit now?
Well, we've always been. Can't take it away. As long as one
Nice.
episode is explicit, you technically.
Because it's in your feed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's too bad.
So really, when you tell us we can't swear on the podcast, it doesn't make any sense
I never
because
say
we're
you
going to be
can't swear. Just
explicit.
keep it to a minimum. No, it matters to
No,
me.
he gets
Well,
mad when we say the F word.
Well, he gets mad when I say that word because once it happens once.
It happens 85 times. Yeah. And then it just becomes this motherfucker here, man. Fuck, 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 fuck.
Wait, I have a favorite hoe.
Okay.
Oh.
It was like a favorite hoe / non-favorite hoe, but when we met you for the first time and you came to Orlando, that was a favorite memory. But we all watched Magic Mike.
Oh. Yeah, we did watch Magic
which
Mike.
Steve Peterson hated with every single cell in his entire body.
That's my favorite day ever.
But the least favorite part of it was when you recorded the episode and you did that Magic Mike intro.
I
Because I remember
was
I
proud
was
of that.
laying in bed listening to it, and I started to get through the first 30 seconds of it, and I was like, nope, 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 nope.
That's when you did the
Pony.
Matthew McConaughey.
Yeah, I did it.
Yeah.
McConaughey.
A lot of law breakers in here.
I think that was the moment where I was like, I cannot.
Yeah, she's on the other side of the house and she's just yelling at her freaking
Like,
headphones.
don't.
Nope, nope, no. I'm like, what's going on in here? Who's in here? It's the podcast.
Do you remember that movie? We went and saw that?
Yeah, I remember that.
And Steve Peterson, no relation, was there too, and we all watched Magic Mike, and he was not a fan, was not interested.
Hey, the rest of us had a good time.
It was a great time, yeah.
Yeah.
But the whole time he just, serial killer crossed my mind a couple times. I'm like, he could kill all of us right now. And I really think he still wants to. He's very, very upset about that.
And to be clear, that was Magic Mike 2, Electric Boogaloo.
No, I think it was Magic. Was it Magic Mike 1 or 2?
It was Magic Mike 2.
I think it was 2, actually.
Yeah.
XXL?
It was 2.
2 was the better one anyway.
I haven't seen
It is
one
the
yet,
better one.
so
Yeah, it was 2.
I say yet because I'm sure.
Yeah, it
sometime-
had to be 2 because
Had
it
to
didn't
be
have
2.
Olivia Munn in it.
Right.
That would have been better.
But you had Matt Bomer, and that's what matters.
Yeah, because it had that last 20 minutes of just amazingness.
Yeah.
The best thing that ever happened to my eyes, and Steve just wanted to fall into the floor.
That last 20 minutes when the whole theater got humid and
Yeah.
I was gonna say.
And panties were being thrown at the screen
Right.
that moment.
And
yeah.
Steve's just like, I'm unhappy. Pay attention to me, I'm unhappy.
That's an accurate representation.
Somebody just ripped off their headphones.
All right, so this I want to segue, same concept, but favorite Justin memory. Since Justin Macumber, for those that haven't listened in a while, that he's no
It's
longer
been a
with
while.
us. He passed a while. It's been a while, yeah. So, favorite Justin memory? We already talked about Chewy Don't Take. That's
Yeah,
obvious.
yeah. No, I honestly think it's just the accumulation of me and him always pissing you off. It was, you could count on one of us almost every single episode, waiting for you to take that breath. You get us quiet, okay?
Martini.
Put your quit clicking your mouse pads, quit drinking whatever you're drinking, quit rumbling your Cheetos bags.
You're like on the edge of your seat, just waiting for him to go.
And you can hear, and you can hear him go, bam. And I knew no matter what, I don't care how mad I would spend the next week saying I'm sorry, I'll never do it again. As long as I got Justin chuckled, that was worth it. That was worth it. So, and vice versa, he would get me tripped up with it as well. So, yeah, it was our little tag team against you, quite a bit. So.
Yeah, that was fun.
Yeah. Guys, I'm tired. I just want to get through this. Okay. All right, no more.
He always had great outtakes. Like,
Yeah, he did.
He really did.
You really did. For me, because he always liked to pick on me a little bit. So anytime I got to get one on him.
Well, especially every time you would just go into a corner and cry about it. Like,
Well, yeah, at the beginning I didn't have very tough skin. I still probably don't. But
Well, and I think part of it was you didn't have a good understanding of that he was kidding,
Right.
And vice versa.
But every once in a while, I would get one on him. There was one where he was talking about some movie that had the same name as a book or something, and I said, "Oh, you mean like the movie that's like named after your book?" It was remember that one?
Yeah.
And
Haywire.
he just didn't know what to say. That was great. But anytime I could make him laugh, you guys remember the laugh, man? That
Yeah.
just like just full body.
You knew it was real.
Yeah,
You
it
knew
was real. That was like the best memory because like even going back and re-listening to it, I knew it was coming and I knew the setup of the joke and everything, and it still made me smile. So,
Yeah.
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 You go.
Well, in the episodes, whenever you would do It's Been a While was pretty great. But my personal experience, we did an episode of Remake This Movie Right, which is part of Hollywood Outsider. And we did an episode on Buffy. And I have to say that taking a passion of mine and a passion of his and us being able to talk about the great things there, anytime I got to record with him, it was a lot of fun, and listening to him all the time was always pretty great. But he definitely made the experience of podcasting incredible. Like, the first episode I ever did was one with him and one of his friends. I can't remember her name right now, but it was the horror, females in horror movies. And he just made every experience pretty great by being funny.
Maybe, or something. I don't
It's
know.
something. It's a name.
Yeah.
Yeah. So.
Well, if she's still listening, she's not now. She just unsubscribed.
The time I rewrote the lyrics to Cumbersome to Macumbersome, and he sang it out on the show.
Yeah.
That's cute.
That was very fun.
It's pretty cool. I remember meeting him at Comic-Con, or no, South by Southwest, and we had never met in person. That was the first time we ever met in person. And I remember, because I remember talking to Brian about this, like, well, I hope this goes well.
Right.
Because Justin, you know, we would get into it every now and again. So I'm like, well, I sure hope we can spend a week together, because this could be fun, you know. And it was a really nice time. I got to know him a little better. It's always one of those things where if you talk to somebody online, yeah, you know them, but you don't know them until you spend a week in a hotel room with someone. You know them a little bit, and it was much more down to earth. It was so much more of you realize so much of it is a on-air personality as opposed to his real personality, and then it's more of I use that as to cover my insecurities and stuff like that. Yeah. So you get a better understanding of who he was, and that was probably a very good thing for our relationship, because I had a better appreciation for him by doing that. But that was pretty fun.
I feel like anytime I walk out of a Marvel movie or a Star Wars movie, I just sit there and I'm reminded of Justin. Just like, think how much he would freaking love this movie.
10.
20. I think he was getting 20s for. I mean,
how high can we rate these things?
Yeah, I mean, he's missed. Star Wars was like his biggest passion. He loved Star Wars more than anything in the world, and he would have loved 8. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah. Especially once everybody else started hating it.
Yeah.
Like, you guys are wrong. This is the best Star Wars movie.
But see, just imagine if we had an episode with him to talk about Endgame. I love you 3000. That just would have had him. I could hear him going, "Oh my god!" You know, like, I could just hear it in his voice, even though he's not here. Like that's kind of like his legacy for me. Is anytime I walk out of a movie that I know Justin would love, is just remembering and hearing his voice, even though he's not around.
So now we're gonna play a game with the audience, I guess. Yay!
Ooh, audience participation.
And we're gonna do it for each person, each host.
Why do you keep staring at me?
You're directly in front of me. Yours will probably be all nice.
We're just surprised you guys aren't in each other's laps right now.
Wait till later.
Yeah, I was gonna say there's still a whole rest of the day left.
It's the whole rest of the week and lots of alcohol on the ship.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is a week-long cruise. This is a long week, buddy.
It's a lot of laps.
We can make something happen.
Aaron, you know what that eye humping looks like.
Oh!
Remember when you eye-fucked Jamie Lannister?
Gold star, Troy.
Yeah, I remember.
Remember when I told him that you eye-fucked?
Yeah. That's the part I remember, yes.
Yeah.
I wasn't going to bring it up. I thought we weren't allowed to.
That's a true story.
It's a true story, unfortunately.
You're right. We are not allowed to.
Oh, is that what it is?
But you did shake his hand, so
I did, and it's not golden.
So we're gonna go around, and I realize I'm the uptight one, so you can be as mean as you like. But we're gonna say each host's name, and then everybody just give the first word that comes to your mind for that particular
Oh,
host.
Jesus Christ.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
And it goes. We're gonna do 5 rounds. We're gonna do Justin too. We'll start with him because.
Holy cow!
Yeah.
All right.
So, and if you didn't listen when Justin was on, you can abstain. Just say I abstain. So, but
Why does it feel like a courtroom? I abstain.
Are you gonna go around the room and ask this? How about we just shout them out?
Exactly.
Yeah.
I guess.
Yeah. less.
I think
Okay, all right,
anonymity,
all right,
when
yeah.
we're dealing with Aaron Peterson, might be best.
Sorry,
We
I'm
know
trying to
your
make it easier.
voices.
No.
One at a time.
I think one at a time, because how are you going to understand who everybody
Yeah.
is?
State your name.
No, all right. Just yell them out. All right, so Justin Macumber, you can yell them out, I guess.
Just passionate.
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 Passion is a really good one.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Moody.
Moody.
You ain't wrong. You ain't wrong.
What's that?
Dirty.
That's
Dirty?
true. I can attest to that.
He's
Yeah.
got an opinion.
Yeah.
Dirty as in naughty, right? Not just like he doesn't pick up his underwear. Okay.
Potato chips.
Oh
Hey!
man, I forgot about that. That was funny.
Son of a bitch.
That might
man.
be one of my more favorite memories
I
of him.
forgot about that.
I know.
Whenever you just get bored.
I
with
can
the
actually just
conversation.
hear the potato chips
Yep.
in my head right now.
Yep.
We'd be recording and he'd just start eating potato chips randomly.
Are you eating potato chips again?
Those are the best outtakes, though.
Yeah.
They can crunch right into his microphone.
Can I say grocery store? Is that?
You gotta explain it though.
So, the one like Aaron was off
That's 2 words, but that's whatever.
groceries. There, how about that?
There you go.
So Aaron handed the reins to me on an episode because he had to step away he was out for a week, and so I was nervous. I had to man this episode. I had to do the format. And I had to organize everything, and everything was going well until Justin didn't show up for an episode, and I'm like, "What's going on?" He's like, and the wife needs me to go get groceries. And I was like, really? I go get groceries, and it like at the time I felt like it felt like he was doing it intentionally because he knew I was running the episode and wanted it to fail, and that was how I took it. But yeah,
He just didn't want to do it.
he just didn't want to do it.
I just woke up late. I don't want to go. I gotta get groceries.
You
Wait,
were
what?
so pissed.
I was not happy. I was really mad.
Any other for Justin? All right, Amanda.
Hello.
Also 2 words.
Yeah,
Or is it 1 word now?
it's 1 word.
It can be 1 word.
We'll hyphenate
What's
it.
one word hyphenated?
Yeah.
All right.
Buffy.
Buffy.
Harry Potter.
So really, you guys are just picking out what my favorite things are that I always talk about.
That's all you talk about.
Well,
Boisterous.
That's fair.
What's that?
Boisterous?
Yeah.
Boisterous,
Yeah.
talkative,
Chatty.
chatty.
well, and I have to say she runs a tight ship when you're not gone.
That's
That
that's more than 1 word. That's like a sentence.
Well, okay. Well, compliment then.
Okay. All right.
Well, I think the Buffy thing, whenever I see something Buffy, I tag you. That's
Aw.
the first thing I think of.
That warms my heart.
Yeah, anything about Buffy, I'll tag you in it.
I feel that same way with Veronica Mars.
Yes!
Yeah. Every time I see it, it automatically linked in my head.
I don't think you guys are grasping this 1 word.
They're responding the way I would respond with
That's-
lots of words.
I just tag every time I see Tom Cruise. Especially
No.
Oh, also Matt Bomer.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
It's like none of them get it. 1 word.
You reject your rules.
Welcome to podcasting with Aaron.
I'm
No
so-
honorable mentions.
I am so sweaty. John Davenport.
Puppets.
Conversational.
See, now I can't take. People are talking. I can't understand. Brian, this is on you.
Deep
Who?
breaths.
What? Who did?
Grouchy.
Grouchy.
Oh.
I'm grouchy?
Actually, it's more like Grinchy because he doesn't.
I was gonna
have
say
stuff.
Christmas.
Yeah.
Conversational.
Conversational.
Reading.
Oh my
Reading.
I gave Johnny a hug for that
That's
one.
accurate.
You're
Yeah,
part
yeah,
part.
it's
Anybody notice that he hasn't stuttered this whole episode?
He's not
He's
reading.
not reading.
No, he doesn't. I'm telling you, he doesn't stutter in person. He only stutters on a podcast. I don't understand it. It's like the weirdest thing. It's a miracle of science.
And it's not like he's worried because his voice is being recorded because we're recording him right now.
No,
it
half
really
the time
is
he's just petting his
face-to-face.
dog. He strokes it like a Bond villain in the background while everybody else is talking.
especially during Christmas time.
Yeah, that's true.
Artist too.
Artist.
That was gonna be mine.
There you go.
Creative.
Creative. Yeah.
Barco.
Barnacle.
No, yeah.
Eeyore is not fair.
Eeyore is fair.
Dude, I think Eeyore every time I hear
Eeyore is
But-
you. You are
Look,
Eeyore.
guys. Let's talk about this movie.
All right, wait a minute. Everyone's seen me in person this whole time. Does Eeyore sound fair in person?
Well,
We're
no.
talking about John the podcast.
John on the podcast.
Well, see, John, the podcast is measured.
Well, don't be measured. Be you,
Stop
man.
measuring.
I have to be measured. Otherwise, everyone's like, he loves everything. I'm like, no, I don't. I swear.
Love everything. It's fine.
Yeah, they give me the shit for that, so you don't have to worry about it. Just do it.
Look at Scott keeping me honest. All right. Brian Williams.
Oh boy.
Santa.
Drunk.
Witty.
Episode 200 still kills me with how.
Yeah.
That was the greatest piece of pod. That was
No, it was
200.
It's 200.
200.
Greatest piece of podcasting ever. Where's Brian?
Yeah, except the
I stepped
unedited
away.
version.
Yeah.
Oh God.
Yeah, we stepped away once or twice. To whatever.
You were gone for 10 minutes.
In the middle of the podcast.
We thought he fell.
Needed a
Did
snack.
he fall asleep, or did it just actually stop?
Hey guys, I'm back. What's up?
Like in the middle of a
What'd I miss?
sentence. I'm here.
Theater. I can't even say it right.
Theater.
Theater.
Theater. Big A.
Theater.
Trailer park. There you go.
Trailer Park is a big hit.
It
apparently.
is.
Everybody
I'm
misses
telling
it.
you.
That was a great segment.
Have to
That was a
unretire it.
great segment.
You just email it in
Just-
every time. That's
all
what
right.
you gotta do.
Or the box office.
Yeah.
The box office.
The box
in
office. Yeah,
windows.
that was fun. That was fun.
Because you had like the ways.
I
to
always
say
had some kind of a theme
Yeah,
going through
like-
it. Yeah.
Titanic sailed into third.
Right.
Yeah, those were pretty great. Those were awesome.
Pauses.
Pauses.
Oh,
Oh,
my
yeah.
God! You don't even hear them all.
Right.
Like in the final episode.
There's a lot. There's a lot. For
Well, because
sure.
when we first started recording and you had that crappy internet, there was like a delay.
Yeah.
And then like remember the Christmas episodes when we had to like all sing together?
Yeah.
And there was no way because Brian was always like a half second off.
Second off. Yeah.
All right. Friend. I'll give you a friend.
All right. Oh.
You didn't give him a friend.
Because
Well, he's a friend.
we're not friendly to that friend.
No.
Okay, all right. Just saying.
He's helped me out. Like we became closer. We were already friends before that, and we became closer because of it. He's helped me out a lot with stuff with it. Not that you haven't, Johnny.
It's
I
all
didn't
right.
mean that.
It's okay.
It's alright. It's got weird.
They just,
I
Did
thought
you
that
want to
was
get in on
sweet.
the hand
misty.
pile there?
Hey, we haven't heard from Sue in a long time. That's what I think of when I
Yeah,
think
what
of Brian.
happened to Sue?
Oh,
Remember
you
we had
know
this.
You got the emails. Don't look at me.
We had this listener that wanted to return the favor
Yeah.
to you. She would write in all the time, and as soon as Brian left, she would send in one like, "Where's Brian?" and then just disappeared. I don't know if Sue listens anymore. I don't know. We haven't heard from Sue in forever.
Wow.
For a while, I was convinced it was just you, right?
It very well might
And
still
now
be.
you're even more convinced because Brian's not there.
Yeah.
Oh.
well, and this week in particular, he is the cruise director.
That's right. Brian
Yeah.
arranged all this. Brian arranged all this.
Yay. Nobody listening is going to understand that.
No, but I say that because not you're all friends, obviously. Well, I'm saying I wanted to quit the podcast several times, and I think we only had one tiff where we fought, like in all the years we did.
Yeah.
Whereas
Oh, I remember.
when we were back doing it in like 15 minutes. We were fine.
Yeah.
Right.
Is this when you hung up?
Yeah, I hung up. I don't
Yeah.
do
You walked.
that,
Yeah. You
but-
walked away. Yeah.
Yeah.
And
I think it's the only
I
time I,
was
ever
like,
have.
Ooh, I
think you
shit my Easter basket.
I think you even like clarified because you dropped an FU and you're like, I'm not even joking. That's a legitimate
Right.
FU. I remember that.
Yeah. But he kept me doing it, so that's why. Otherwise, I probably would have quit. Scott Clark.
Oh boy.
Episode 4.
I couldn't hear you.
Episode 4.
Episode 4.
Intervention.
Oh,
Yeah.
that was so bad.
That was awesome. That's why I friended you.
One of the funniest episodes of your
Yeah.
show was that.
The outtakes, though, they were something special.
Oh yeah, the outtakes.
When you were completely drunk. That was the last time. That's when I banned drinking on the
Yeah,
podcast.
except for like centennial episodes.
Yeah,
or
special
whatever.
episodes, yeah.
Yeah.
We would be drinking for this one, but they don't allow it in this room. So.
Right.
What are you gonna do?
Next year.
Die Hard.
Die Hard.
Is a Christmas movie.
Notice I didn't finish my thoughts on that. I just told you Die Hard.
There you go.
Everybody else
Yes.
knows.
Mhm.
Taco Bell equals spicy Scott.
Yeah, Spicy Scott.
That was a fun episode.
Yeah.
I don't understand how that works, though. Like, how does Taco Bell make you
Taco
more fun?
Bell makes me happy.
It makes him
inside.
happy, yeah.
You don't understand. I love when I went to LA this past week. I'm in LA, which is known for its Mexican food, and we ate Taco Bell 3 times for dinner.
Are
in a row.
you monster?
I love Taco Bell, man.
What is it?
It doesn't help that
You're
the
in
person you
LA
went
and
with
you
loves
get
Taco
Taco-
Bell too.
Yeah. Well, I was with Zach, who likes Taco Bell even more than I do.
Yeah.
Yeah. It just makes me happy.
That and Pizza Hut makes you
Yes.
also makes you pretty happy.
Pizza Hut and Taco Bell.
Yeah.
It's like you're perpetually 12.
He has a bowl of cheese balls at his house usually. Or
You saw what I ate at the Windjammers?
Yeah, I did see what you ate.
Pizza, chicken nuggets, French fries, hot dogs. Like
These are a few of my favorite things.
Colin Firth. I remember when I first saw you in the video, I was like, he looks like Colin Firth.
And I still don't get that.
Colin Firth?
I know, and then you changed your main pick to Colin Firth, and I was like, yeah.
Oh, I remember this actually now.
Yeah.
I don't get that.
I don't either. But
I
I'll
think
take
it was just the way he was on the video that day. Like, he just resembled Colin Firth.
I usually get Brad Pitt.
What?
or-
Those people are lying to you.
Those people don't exist.
Christmas. To keep it down to one word and keep everyone happy. That poem that you do every Christmas is awesome.
Yeah. It's getting harder because I'm running out of ideas.
But you do it great every time.
Well, thank you.
You make it better every time.
Yeah, I even got a compliment from Justin on that. You told me I should.
Yeah.
Like I should write children's books or something.
Coming from him, I don't know if that's good or creepy.
Especially since he's the true hoe, because he'll whore himself out to promote anything that he's involved in.
Justin's a pretty good writer, so I'd take that as a good compliment.
Yeah, I would too.
Yeah. I'd say partner, because we started this together.
Oh, I thought that meant like a sex partner.
Why you gotta make it weird?
Is it weird though? If that's what you guys do in the bedroom, that's not my business.
Charmed Life for Aaron last night?
By the way, that song is dirty as. I did not know that song was dirty. You do not know how pornographic that Semi-Charmed Life song is until you see it at karaoke. And you know, because Scott sang that last night, and I didn't know the words. I just knew the do 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 do. Yeah, you read the words and it's like I'm gonna put it in you and all kinds of other shit.
Baby Shark, or was that?
That sounded like Baby Shark.
Yeah, okay.
Let's be clear, though, he did drive over to your house for many years to do the podcast.
He
so
did,
You
yes.
don't know what was going on at that time.
He did, and we started it together. So
Yeah.
I don't want to did you say my name? Because that's just like,
Aaron.
Aaron.
In charge. Dedicated. Rule follower.
Dedicated rule follower.
This sounds like Nazi terms.
I think my newest one for Aaron is Jaws.
Jaws? Because it's a vacation movie.
No, it's not.
All right.
Hitchcock.
Hitchcock, that works
Yes.
for me.
Stallone.
Yes.
Stallone. Hey, where's Stallone? Bring him in here.
It's hard to do in front of people.
Come
Right.
on.
I know what
Hey,
the-
I just showed up to say, hey, what's going on?
Tell us about your cruise experience, Stallone.
I jumped off.
Do you do any kind of like? Do you adjust the voice when you do that, or is it just straight you?
No, I just do it.
Do you?
I just make sure I drink some coffee and get a little deeper baritone
Yeah.
when I do it. Because I don't, otherwise I just talk like this. And that's not, that just sounds
That
like
one's scary. I don't like it.
That sounded like Stallone had a couple drinks.
Notes.
I'm gonna break your
what's
rule.
it?
Notes.
Notes?
When you record a podcast with Aaron, he sits there with a notebook, and when you screw up, he writes down the times.
Yes, he
You
does.
can literally sit there and watch Aaron and go, "Oh man, I just screwed up. He's pissed at me for something because he just wrote something down."
It just makes it easier to edit, man. I don't want to listen to the whole episode, so I just write down where I need to fix things. Johnny knows.
Yeah. Because I do it now for the half-hour power hour. The whole time I'm like, all right, gotta fix that. Although I'm not as stringent as Aaron is, so I don't make the huge page of notes. I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna cut that out. And then 5-10 minutes later, I'm gonna have to re-listen to that part.
But isn't it easier, though?
Oh yeah.
See? I can go just back to front. I don't have to listen to the whole damn thing. Because I just did it. I don't want to hear it again.
Courtney, you said you were going to break the rule?
Yeah, I'm gonna break the rule and use a lot of words, but I think I would say inspirational and amazing because what you've put together has brought us all together. So.
Oh, look at that.
Technically, Brian put it together.
It was the two of you guys.
No.
You wouldn't have Brian here.
I would
if
have put it
wasn't
together
for you.
if you didn't get it started.
Yeah. Well, so.
I mean, you guys want to cuddle now? This is getting really sweet.
No. We'll cuddle later.
He should have. We cuddled yesterday when he was really intoxicated.
When he was dressed like Mickey
Yeah.
and wearing Mickey.
That was a good.
Without
thing.
shoes.
Without
Oh,
shoes.
Four?
Troy's got 4 words apparently.
No, 4 minutes.
4 minutes? Or you give me
Oh, you're a time mark.
People think I'm bad. Yeah. Go do a podcast
I just
with
want
Troy.
Brian to get charged. That's what it's for. I'm looking for Brian, not you.
Do a podcast with Troy. Everything has 47 messages.
Well, you better hurry up because we have 4 minutes.
I know, we got 4 minutes.
All right, let me do mine. I will say I'm going to call it one word, even though it's two. Role model, because I would not. The gaming outside would not be what it was today if I didn't have your inspiration, like somebody else mentioned. Attention to detail and just fast way of doing it and constantly keeping on people.
He's a teacher. He
I know, but that I'm still trying to remember what it means. Hang on. All right, we're caught up.
Anal.
I got it.
We had a lot of F-bombs already, so I was trying to keep it clean. But no, I like I said, I wouldn't have had the successes with my own show if I didn't have your lead with the Hollywood Center. So I appreciate it.
I would ditto that.
One thing before we, two things before we wrap this up. Number one, my parents are here, so Mom and Dad. Which I love both of them, so don't take this personal, Dad. But my mom has been my inspiration for why I started the podcast and why I love movies, and I forgot to thank her when Troy and I won the Blacklist. So, thanks, Mom, because you're the whole reason that this whole thing started and that we're all here in a way.
Go, Mom!
Now she's finally listened to an episode and been on.
That's true. For those that don't know, my mom listens. I think you only listen to the Christmas episodes, right?
Yes.
She loves your poems.
Aw.
They're awesome.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Hey, let me listen to my son's podcast. I love Scott's poems.
He is the better half.
Yeah. Also, I've got something before you guys, but we'll do that after we wrap this up. But anybody want to say anything in closing as we wrap the podcast recording up?
Thank you,
Yeah.
everybody.
Thank you.
It's a good group.
Thanks for doing the show.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thanks for bringing us all together.
I don't really like movies, but the hoe is making me like movies.
Aww.
That's a great compliment.
Bring Brian back.
Hey, congratulations on making it to Rotten Tomatoes because you've now officially joined the group of people you set out to destroy.
We'll destroy them from within.
Full circle.
I want to go around. You guys get last word. So, Amanda.
Why do you put me
Just
first? Don't put me first.
Because it's
Go to Scott first.
Scott. Go first.
What do you want me to do? Just say
Nobody
something in
listens to
closing?
me. You know what, Brian? Go first.
When you head to a theater, don't buy Scott's popcorn because I've seen it and it's gross.
Dude, it's just,
Wrong.
It's like a popcorn bucket of butter.
Yeah.
It's so
It's
good.
just all butter.
So
All
good.
but-
Yes, I will share it with you.
Yes.
Woo!
It's soaking wet.
By the way, this is our 8-year anniversary, and this is the first time we podcasted together, all together.
In the same room, yeah.
In the same room, yeah. So, final words.
Even though I'm not a full-time member, it is still a huge honor and a pleasure to do this every so often. So thank you guys for listening. Thank you guys for doing it still. And looking forward to see what else happens in the future.
All right, let me see if I can do this right now. I think it was a good time, and it's been awesome. I love everyone, even though Aaron's a dick sometimes.
I seriously thought you were gonna say something.
Sweet, I
thought you were gonna start crying or something. Oh my god!
You guys not figured that out yet. And then never serious when he winds up like that.
And then all of a sudden, Bobcat Goldthwait as a puppet comes out.
Well, I guess I want to say thank you to, first and foremost, Aaron and Johnny for letting me be part of this.
You're welcome.
And to the Puppet and Stallone. And for making it a pretty incredible experience, and to everybody who listens to the podcast for continuing to listen and support us.
I just want to say thanks to everybody for coming to this shindig. This is a lot of fun. It's really cool to interact with you guys on the Facebook group, and I text some of you guys personally and all that, but getting us all together and just hanging out for a week is really great. And here's to another 8 years.
Let's slow down. Let's ease up on that. First up, I want to say thank you to the wives.
Yeah.
Jane, Stephanie, Courtney, Tracy, you're included too because I work with you, Troy, quite a bit. we take up a lot of their time.
They call themselves the podcast widows.
The podcast widows.
That's what they've been calling
We're
themselves.
gonna
always.
start a podcast about being podcast.
We spend
actually
a
a
lot,
really
That would
good
actually
idea.
work really well.
we spend a lot of time talking to other people instead of them. So that has to be exhausting or thrilling. I really think it just depends on your perspective in most days. But they make it possible for us to do this. And thanks to everybody in this room and everybody listening, because I think this has just been a fantastic ride. We've had a lot, and also Krista Macumber too. I don't want to leave her out. Thanks to
Absolutely.
her too. We've had a really fun ride doing this. I think we've all had experiences from it that have led to friendships and relationships and just like crazy life. It's been weird. And thank you to Scott and Brian and John and Amanda and Justin and
The room
And
next
the people
door is
next
having
door.
an awesome party.
Yeah, right.
next door, man. Because
We're gonna
We're
break
gonna
in
hang
there.
out with them.
Yeah.
amazing time.
Slide those things open and just make it a big party.
Yeah. But thanks everybody, and I think that'll do it. So that closes it up. So thanks for coming to the Hollywood Outsider podcast recording, the live recording.
Yeah, you have to.
Oh, go buy pop. Go.
What?
Let a ship get
Next
drunk.
time you go to the theater.
Next time you go to the theater, buy.
The popcorn is not free.
The next time,
The
next
popcorn
time,
by the movie theater on the ship is $2.50.
What?
Yeah.
You're supposed to
Yes.
support these popcorn
You literally
people.
get everything free, but popcorn.
Yes.
Buy popcorn. That's fine, but that's bullshit. That's bullshit. Thank you for listening. Hang on, nobody leave.